Hello everyone, this is a highly requested video for a tutorial of Despair by Leo. To start, I'm just going to go over some of the basics. So let's start with the basics of the ukulele so that you know what I'm talking about when I give directions. There are 4 chords for a basic ukulele. You have G, C, E, and A. And you number them starting with the string closest to you and ending with the string furthest from you. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next is your fingers. So you have first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. You don't use your thumb most of the time. Then we have the frets. The frets are where these little lines are. So this is the first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, fifth fret, which is marked by a dot, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and so on. So now that we've gotten those basics out of the way, I think I can start teaching you guys the chords. I want to start with the chords for the verse instead of starting with the intro. The chords for the verse are C, A, F, G, A minor, and D. You're going to start with the C chord, which takes your third finger, your ring finger, and it's placed on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, down here. And when you play it all together, it sounds like this. The next chord we're going to do is A. It requires 2 fingers, your index finger and your middle finger. Index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. And it'll sound like this. Index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and it'll sound like this. To move to an F from an A, you simply take your index finger and move it to the 1st fret, 3rd string, and it'll sound like this. Next we have a G chord. It requires 3 fingers, index finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, like this, and ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and it'll sound like this. A minor is really easy, which is just index finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and it'll sound like that. Then in the chord progression, we have a C again, which I already taught you. The next new chord is a D, which can be done 2 ways. Next we have a G chord. It requires 3 fingers, index finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, like this, and ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and it'll sound like this. A minor is really easy, which is just index finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and it'll sound like that. Then in the chord progression, we have a C again, which I already taught you. The next new chord is a D, which can be done 2 ways. The first way you can do it is with 3 fingers, and it's index finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, and it'll sound like this. Or you can do it with 2 fingers and have index finger on the 1st string at the 2nd fret, middle finger covering the 2nd and 3rd string on the 2nd fret. It sounds the same, it's just a small bar chord. So if you're new, I suggest doing it the first way because you're avoiding bar chords. If you're a little bit more advanced, then feel free to try playing it with the bar. Now for the strumming pattern for this song, I made up my own strumming pattern that you'll hear in the videos that I've played. There is a strumming pattern given on the tabs. So the first verse will sound like this. So that would be if you're just doing 3 strums and then a rest. And you can always change it up and decide where you want each chord to fall in relation to the words. It's hard to sing and play at least your first few times around. So if you practice it, you'll figure out where you feel like changing notes. Though for the tabs that I have, which I will link, it does put the note above the word. It does put the chord above the word where you should change. So let's move on to the chorus. The chorus is very similar to the verse, starting with C, moving to A, moving to F, moving to G. But this time we go back to C, go to A minor, F, G. Back to A minor, back to C, D, F, G, C, A, F, G. So you can go back to look at the chords again. I'm not going to show them again, but I'm not going to explain them again, but I am going to show them. So you have C to an A, F to a G, back to a C, to an A minor, to an F, to a G, A minor, to C, to D, to F, G, C, A, F, G. Let's play the chorus together. So, I'm going to put the chords here so that you guys know which chord we're on, because I'm going to say the lyrics as we play so you know where the chord changes are. So we're going to start with the last chord of the first verse, just so that we have a place to start. So that's a G. 'Cause it's not romantic, I swear. I'm not gasping for air. I want you to be here, but please don't come near. 'Cause even though I'm pretty sure my head's exploding, I'm not ready for hand-holding. It's not love, I swear. It might be closer to despair. So that's how the chords line up with the words for the chorus. Now there is an interlude after this, which I will show next because it has a new chord. The new chord you're going to learn is an E minor. It takes 3 fingers. Index finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And ring finger on the 4th fret of the 2nd string. And it'll sound like this. And it's going to make a little diagonal here. So that is the new chord for the interlude. The interlude is C, so it'd be a C, E minor, F, G, and then repeat. The second verse is identical to the first. The choruses are identical as well, until you get to the very bottom, where we introduce some of the harder chords. The new chords in this section are G sharp, F sharp minor, and a regular F minor. For G sharp, there are a couple ways to play it, but I'm going to show you the original way and then a modified way that requires less fingers. For the original way, it takes 4 fingers, and you're going to have to bear with me because it's kind of hard to show and see because I'm seeing it backwards in the camera. But you're going to start with your index finger on the first fret of the first string. Your middle finger goes down to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Your ring finger goes to the 3rd fret of the 4th string, and your ring finger reaches around and goes to the 4th fret of the 3rd string. So it kind of looks ridiculous, but it sounds like this. There is a modified way to do it that only requires 3 fingers, sorry. Now for the modified way to do it. It only takes 2 fingers, and it is a bar chord, but it's not a super difficult one. So you're going to take your index finger and lay it over the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings at the 3rd fret. And you're going to pinch with your thumb to kind of hold that finger in place. And then you're going to take your middle finger here, this one, and you're going to put it on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. So it's going to look like this, and it sounds like that. There you go. Ignore the 1st string and only strum the last 3. Next is an F sharp minor. It requires 3 fingers. Index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So it's going to make a triangle like that. And then when you play, it sounds like that. Now for an F minor, which is one of my personally favorite chords, it's just 3 fingers. First finger on the 1st fret of the 1st string, 2nd finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and then your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. So you don't use your ring finger for this one. So just kind of tuck that one back, and it'll sound like this. And the switching between these chords is kind of difficult, so it will take a lot of practice. But I hope that this run through of the chords was helpful. And now I'm going to work with you guys on how to put it together. Even though I'm pretty sure my head's exploding, I'm not ready for hand holding. It's not love, I swear. It might be closer to despair. So that section is kind of difficult, and it just takes a lot of practicing and running through over and over again, but I have confidence that you guys will figure it out. This is my first time doing a tutorial, at least on this channel, so I hope it was helpful. If it wasn't, tell me so that I can figure out how to do it better. But thank you guys for requesting it, and I'll see you all later. Bye!